Hey, this is Chris, the DIY guy here talking with you now. I just bought a new Kamado 15-inch ceramic grill to replace my old Weber here. Now, it says 15-inch Kamado ceramic, which I've been wanting to get into a ceramic grill. It's kind of like the Big Green Egg, but it's a different brand, so it's a little bit less expensive. It was about, market value was $700 for the grill, whereas my old Weber was about $100. Now, I wanted one that does charcoal because charcoal is the best. It tastes better, it smells better. Sure, it takes a little bit longer for prep, but it's the way to go. So now I'm doing a comparison between my old Weber grill and the new Kamado. First, we'll look at the Weber. This standard with the Weber, I've got rid of it because it's getting old, it's kind of rough. So let's just see how high it is. So for cooking surface here, we got about 29 inches height. About 29-inch height on the surface of the grill here, with approximately 22 inches of grilling area. Now, that's pretty decent for $100, you know. So I kind of thought that the Weber, or the new Kamado, since it is a 15-inch ceramic grill, I figured that meant the grilling space. But no, if you look further in the description here, I ordered this online, so I didn't quite know, but it is only 13-inch of stainless steel cooking surface. So we'll take a look at the height of the grill, how much it holds, what kind of food you could put on there, but 13-inch is a big difference from 22 inches. Alright, so now here is the 15-inch Kamado grill, ceramic grill. Now we're going to take the same measurements as we did with the other one. From the base of the ground, now that it's assembled, to the top is about 19 inches. So 19 inches, and then across the interior is 13 inches, but this grill plate itself is only 12 inches. So that is a little bit of a difference, because you know, now your meat's going to be hanging off and touching the sides of the grill, which you don't really want that to happen. So 13 inches, a little bit big, they're claiming. Now, it does come with some neat features, like it has the temperature gauge here. It's got a nice vent on the top that you can cycle, as well as the bottom that you can open and close. Comes with this electric starter that you can slide right inside of here. Oh, no, you can't. Okay, so I thought you could slide it inside of there, but you can't. So that makes... I'm not sure how they expect us to use this electric starter. So, and this is a ceramic pizza plate. Now, I know it'll fit in here, but it's actually a very small pizza. They're a personal size, almost a little over 8 inches wide in diameter. So I guess if you're just making one pizza for yourself, then it's okay. Now here I use lump charcoal. So I'm going to fill that up with lump charcoal. It says to fill it up above the air holes in there. So I don't know how much I'm going to need, but it doesn't look like I'll need a whole lot. Now this also poses a problem that I can't fit the electric starter down through there. So I'm just going to use my regular fire starter and start it up the old-fashioned way that I've been doing it. But let me break in and show you the pieces that came in the box. So first thing, you had to assemble a little bit. This piece right here comes off, it's the vent. Very easy to assemble back on there. Now it does have these little foam, like not foam, but felt pieces around each corner where it touches. Like here you have felt and here you have felt. So I can see that getting probably pretty nasty over the years. But for now, you know, it keeps it from cracking when you open and close it. So that's a plus. I already showed you the 12-inch drilling piece. This here is the charcoal layer catcher kind of thing on the bottom. I thought that the electric starter would fit under there. And then this piece is like an inner ceramic shell. It has the vent here so that you can line that up with the hole. Make sure that you get the airflow through there. If you put it on this side, obviously the airflow is not going to work. So you want to make sure you have that facing toward the front. Now, I have noticed it's not very stable. I don't like that at all. You would think it'd be a little bit more stable, but it is ceramic, so what can you say? So then you take that, got this piece here, this piece goes down on top of there. Then you'll want to start your coals and dump them in. So you want to make sure that there's enough to overfill. So I'm going to just put some in right now. Is reuse my old charcoal. So I've got old charcoal from the time that I made some grilling last time. Since there's not enough room to put the my charcoal chimney on the inside the grill there, I just did it here in my fire pit so that I could, you know, have room to do it. Pour these in here carefully. See, that was not the smoothest of operations, and now we have the felt is going to be a little singed because of this. So I must say the felt stood up a lot better than I expected it to. It must be maybe fire resistant, I guess. That is surprising. So I am a little surprised about that. But we got that on there. Now I oiled this up. I oiled the grill up with some olive oil. Get that on there. Crank it up, open up all the vents, and get the temperature up. Okay, so now I've got some large pieces of chicken. I want to see how well they fit onto the grill surface. Now the coals are really close to the food, so that's also going to be an issue. There's no way to regulate how close you get. The only thing you can do is regulate. So we'll do 3 pieces of chicken here, see how they turn out. I'm sure they'll cook fine. Alright, so I've rotated them a couple of times. They got pretty warm there, so it's so close to the flame. I don't like that part about it. I had to close the vent on the bottom again just to make sure that it doesn't get too crazy hot, because it was getting up, and that's why it got a little bit burned up on the top here. As you can see, these two are really burnt, and this one's not as cooked, so I think there is a little bit of a cold spot over here in the back corner. So remember that when you're grilling, so that you can rotate to prevent any serious damage and uneven cooking. You know, you want to have the even cooking. I do have 2 more chicken breasts I'm going to have to cook, so I'm going to have to actually swap them out. So when these are done, then the next ones will go on. So that's a problem when you're entertaining, but just for a family of 4 like us, this is probably a good enough size. You don't need more than this, really. So this temperature gauge right now is reading over 500 degrees. So I kind of was flipping the chicken and I thought, well, that doesn't seem right. It seems like it's way too high. So I think this thermometer might be off, and hopefully it can be adjusted. I know some thermometers can, and once this cools down I might try to adjust it, but I want to see what the true temperature is right now. So I've got my multimeter that checks temperatures as well. It's on there, hooked into the vent here so that I can get an idea of what the actual temperature is. It's looking like it's about 430 degrees, so this temperature gauge is pretty far off. So I'd say 430 is definitely a far cry from 550. So I was flipping the chicken here. This is my second batch. So I was wondering how it could possibly be hotter than it was earlier, because it does not seem hotter. And I've got the vent almost closed off. So it's a little bit concerning that this temperature gauge could be that far off. But the chicken looks about done. It's the charcoal, as you can see, is lasting a good long time. But it also lasted a good long time in my Weber grill as well. Because once you closed off the vents, it snuffed that fire right out. So I'm kind of interested to see how well this snuffs the fire out after I shut all the vents and how much charcoal is left. As I showed you before when I first started grilling, I always use the leftovers because it has the flavor, you know, you've got the flavor in there and you don't want to lose that flavor. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go after this cools down. Final review of the 15-inch Kamado grill. Well, while grilling, this part got really hot, so it made it difficult to open and close this vent on the top. And also the vent on the bottom. This bottom also got extremely hot while I was cooking, so this made it difficult for me to open and close this. Temperature gauge was about 100 something degrees off, so that caused a problem. I like the lid, everything about it is nice. The felt here was nice. This, I didn't like that it's only 12 inches. It claims to be 13 inches, but that's including the entire inner circumference, which is not really grilling space. The heating element would not fit inside of here, so I thought that's where you would put it to start the charcoal, but no, so the electric heating element was kind of pointless, actually. And the pizza stone also pointless. It was too small to really do anything with. Ceramic in the center is wobbly. It doesn't really stabilize well. I still had to use 2 runs of grilling, so the first part and then the second part to do 5 chicken breasts, which I could easily do 5 chicken breasts plus on the 22-inch grilling surface of the Weber. Held the charcoal well. The charcoal cooled down and saved quite a bit for later. We didn't have all the little bits and pieces falling through to the bottom and out of the grill itself like the Weber. I think for the price, $700 retail value is a bit much for something this small. This many issues.